I saw when you woke up today and felt that weight in your chest, as if time were passing and your prayers were stuck somewhere between the earth and the clouds. You came here because you feel, deep within your being, that your miracle has already begun. But human weariness sometimes tries to cloud your spiritual vision. I didn't bring you to divine love by chance at this exact moment. You know that desire that burns in your chest? That question you silently ask yourself while the sink runs or while you look at your phone waiting for a message that never arrives. What would you do if you knew the answer wasn't hidden in a distant future, but pulsating in the present? Just as I did with Peter when I called him to walk on water amidst the storm, I'm inviting you to look beyond the obvious. In this sacred encounter, I will reveal to you why your current process is living proof that I am already working behind the scenes. If you stay with me until the last whispered word in this video, you will understand that the key you seek is much closer than your heart imagines. I have a clear answer saved for the end of our dialogue, a phrase that will be engraved on your soul so that you will never again feel helpless. If this word of mine is finding a place in your heart and touching wounds that no one sees, tell me below what your name is, what country or city you are listening to me from now, and what time the clock shows in this moment of surrender. I want you to know that I am present in every second of your time. Many times the soul needs to cry out to be healed, and today I want you to let that cry out from you as an act of liberation. Right here, as one opens the door of their house to an awaited friend. Lord my God, I am here. I subscribed because I love you and want to hear you. Make this your milestone today. For your inscription is the sign that you wish to keep this channel open between the throne and your living room. Understand, my beloved daughter, that the awakening of your soul to the invisible is the first great movement of the miracle you so earnestly ask for. The very second you decided, even with tears in your eyes, that your faith would be greater than your fear, the gears of eternity began to turn in a new way in your favor. You often think that the miracle is just the full plate on the table, but I tell you that the miracle was the supernatural strength that made you get out of bed today to prepare the way. The miracle is not just the final healing, but the inexplicable peace that invaded your chest last night, while uncertainty still screamed outside. I'm working in secret, weaving the threads of a story that will leave your eyes in awe. There is a sacred movement happening now, a change of season that your natural senses cannot yet measure. But I haven't yet shown you everything I've prepared for the next step in this journey we're taking together. If you feel that my voice is warming your heart, leave your sign of affection so that others may also be reached by clicking the like button. And answer me honestly. Can you perceive that something new, something you can't explain, is being born within you at this moment? Write in the comments our first mark of faith in this journey. Clear vision, stay with me. Because there's a secret about the silence of your early mornings that I still need to tell you, something that will completely change the way you see your waiting. Have you ever stopped to listen to the sound of your own silence? The one that happens at 3 in the morning, when the world seems to have forgotten to turn, and the only noise in your house is the almost imperceptible creak of the wood, or the monotonous hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. I see you there, sitting in that chair that already feels the weight of your tired body, holding a cup of coffee that has gone cold, staring at the wall as if it could give you the answers the world has denied you. You think this silence is proof of my absence. You think that because you don't hear the thunder, I'm not acting, but it is in the emptiness of this silence that I am moving the mountains you cannot yet see on the horizon. Silence is not nothingness. It is the space I use to create everything. When the earth was formless and empty, there was silence before my voice declared the light. What you call abandonment, I call incubation. Your miracle is being gestated in the darkness of your waiting, far from the eyes of the curious and the tongues that hasten to judge you. You feel vulnerable, feeling the cold that rises through your feet and the uncertainty that tightens your chest like an unwanted embrace. But remember what I taught my servant Elijah. He sought me in the rushing wind that shattered the rocks, and I was not there. He sought me in the earthquake that shook the ground, and I was not there. He sought me in the fire that consumed everything around, and I was not there either. For it is written in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 12, "And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire a still small voice." It is in this gentle breeze, in this whisper that barely stirs the air, that I reveal myself to you now. Silence is my strategic hiding place. I am silent because I am working with the delicacy of a surgeon healing a deep wound. If I made a noise now, you might be frightened and retreat, but I need you to remain still, feeling only my presence surrounding you. Your miracle began when you stopped shouting at the wind and started listening to your heart. Every tear that fell on your dinner table, unseen by anyone, was collected by me. They are the seeds that are watering the soil where your victory will sprout. You think nothing is happening, but the roots of your tomorrow are deepening today. Without depth, the tree falls in the first storm. Therefore I keep you in this silence, so that you may become unshakable. If you feel this silent peace beginning to fill the empty spaces in your soul, share this light with someone who is also lost in the darkness of their own room. And tell me something. In the midst of this silence, can you feel my embrace now? Right here to seal this moment with our word of intimacy, peace in silence. But this silence is not just a place of rest, it is also a place of decision. There is something I need to ask of you, something born of gratitude that will prove how much you trust in what you do not yet see. I will show you now how your gesture today can open the channels of provision that were obstructed by your anxiety. While I work in the depths of your being, preparing the ground for what your eyes have not yet seen, I invite you to look at the hands I have given you. The miracle that has already begun in your life also manifests itself through your generosity and your gratitude transformed into sacred movement. If this word of mine is watering your desert and bringing life where there was only dust, I ask that you now consider a gesture of love. If it is possible for you, only if your heart overflows with total sincerity, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel that is my instrument. Consider the divine love that I pour out upon you and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and contribute using the link in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. There you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount, for I do not seek what you have in your pocket, but the intention you have in your soul. If you wish a different amount, simply type what your spirit feels at the moment. Remember that you should only give what fits in your heart, and I will receive every penny with the purest love. No matter the size of the offering, what matters is the faith that guides it, because what may seem small to you may be the miracle awaited by the recipient. Those who contribute any amount, moved by a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city along with your gesture of kindness. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God. Your name will be remembered, mentioned with profound gratitude, and covered by divine blessings released in prophetic prayer. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, "Each one should give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Every seed sown in faith before me, your Lord, is a treasure I keep, and none of them will fail to bear fruit in due time. I see what you do in the secret of your room, and I will reward you in the sight of all. Remain here with me until the end of this message, because the whisper I have prepared for your heart still wants to touch your deepest wounds. Do you remember that day not long ago when the world seemed to crumble because a negative answer arrived? I saw you holding your cell phone with trembling hands, feeling the cold run down your spine as you read those words that seemed to sentence your failure. You went to the kitchen, rested your forehead against the cold tile of the wall, and asked in a muffled whisper, "Why, Lord? Why another closed door?" What you didn't know, my daughter, is that at that very moment, my no was acting as an iron shield around your life. Often you see rejection as an open wound, but I see it as a surgical intervention of love. If that door had opened, you would have entered a path that would have led you far from my purpose, a place where your peace would have been stolen, and your soul would have been lost in anxieties you couldn't bear. The miracle began there, in the silence of that negative answer, because I was preserving you for something so great that your current mind cannot yet process. You cried on the bus, hiding your face in the rain-fogged window, feeling the weight of being ignored. but I was there, holding your hand and diverting your feet from an abyss you couldn't see. For it is written in Psalm 121 verse 7, "The Lord will keep you from all evil, He will keep your soul." That no was my way of saying that I love you too much to let you accept less than I have prepared for your story. Imagine a father taking a sharp, shiny object from his young son's hand. The son cries, feeling wronged and deprived of a toy, but the father knows he is saving that child's life. That's how I am with you, in every detail of your routine. I saw the danger hidden behind that seemingly golden opportunity. I saw the betrayal that would come from that relationship you so desperately asked me to restore. I saw the downfall that position would bring you. The miracle is not only what I hand you with open arms, but also what I prevent you from touching so that you remain whole for what is to come. Now, take a deep breath and look back with my eyes. Can you see that your pain yesterday was the foundation of your security today? The miracle is already underway, and at this moment, it takes the form of invisible protection. I am clearing your path, removing the thorns and snares before you step on them. You are safe under my shadow, and nothing that is truly yours will be lost or stolen. Your miracle is my hand supporting you while the world around you sways. If this revelation has brought relief to your heart now, consider sharing this message with that person who is also suffering because of a closed door. Perhaps they need to know that I am also protecting them in secret. And tell me here, with all the sincerity of your soul, can you thank me for the no that saved you, even without understanding all the details now? Write in the comments to seal this trust, faithful shield. But don't think the journey ends only with protection. There is a process of profound transformation happening in your path, and what I will show you next is the secret, so that your blessing doesn't become too heavy a burden when it finally reaches your hands. I know that walking through the desert sometimes makes your feet heavy and your mind wander, searching for meaning in the struggles of each new day. While your miracle matures behind the scenes, I don't want you to feel alone in times of weariness or when doubt knocks on your door like an unwelcome visitor. I understand that sometimes you need a firm hand to hold while you navigate your silent nights and your mornings of new beginnings. The miracle that has already begun needs to be nourished by the constancy of our friendship. If your heart yearns to dive into even deeper waters with me, and if you want to learn to see my signs amidst your routine, I have prepared something special to accompany you. I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, something I wrote with all my love and care for my beloved daughters and sons. It is a guide for your soul, the digital book called Divine Love. Devotional, the Voice of God. It was designed to be your daily companion, a remedy for your pains and a light for your steps when the path seems dark. You can find access to this journey in the link I left in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. But listen to what your Father tells you now. If today is not the time, or if it is not possible for you, do not let guilt overwhelm you. Do not condemn yourself for it. Remain here with me, for I will also sustain you and continue speaking to your heart through this message. For it is written in Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. The Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, for His mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I want your heart to rest completely, without any worry, so that your soul is not confused. Understand that soon after you register to receive this guide, access will arrive directly at the email address you registered. There, you will have all the instructions explained simply, step by step, to begin this journey of intimacy. It is my invitation so that you never again feel helpless in your daily battles. Now, take a deep breath. Calm your spirit and continue here, because what I have to reveal to you about the weight of the glory that awaits you will change your way of seeing waiting. Have you looked in the mirror today and noticed the marks that time has drawn around your eyes? I see each one of them. To the world, they are merely signs that the years have passed, but to me, they are the geographical coordinates of all the times you have borne the weight of the world without letting your faith fall to the ground. Many times, you ask me, with a heavy heart and a voice choked with the weariness of routine, why so much delay? You question why this process seems endless and why the path is so steep. What your soul has not yet understood, my beloved daughter, is that I am not only preparing your miracle, I am preparing your heart to bear the weight of the glory that will come with it. Imagine if I were to give you today that absolute financial answer, that position of immense responsibility, or that complete family restoration you so desperately ask for. Would you have the emotional strength to sustain it now? Or would the blessing become too heavy a burden, capable of crushing your peace? A miracle given to someone who has not yet been forged in the silence of the desert is like placing the heavy roof of a cathedral on columns made of sand. I keep you in this maturation process because I love you too much to allow you to lose what I gave you due to a lack of foundation. I see you in the kitchen, putting away the dishes with automatic and slow movements, feeling that tiredness that is no longer physical, but seems to come from within your soul. You feel your strength is at its limit, but it is precisely in this weakness that my strength becomes perfect in you. Every time you choose to forgive those who don't deserve it, every time you decide to trust, even when your bank balance is negative and the electricity bill stares you down on the table, you are reinforcing the pillars of your inner self. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Understand well what I'm telling you. Your current struggle is not punishment. It is my elite training. The weight you feel today is what will give you the spiritual strength necessary to hold the trophy tomorrow. The miracle doesn't begin when you receive the news, but when you become the woman capable of carrying this victory without losing sight of me. I am maturing you in the fire. Like gold that shines more intensely the more it is tested. You are ceasing to be a leaf, carried by the wind of circumstances, and becoming an unshakable rock upon my word. Now take a deep breath and allow this transformation to happen. You are not the same person who started listening to this message a few minutes ago. Your gaze is changing, and your posture is aligning with the will of heaven. If you feel your heart is being strengthened for what is to come, leave your sign of agreement by clicking the like button. And tell me something. Can you perceive that your patience and your authority have grown in the midst of this waiting? Write here in the comments our mark of victory for this moment. Strong soul. But listen carefully, because the desert is not just a place of thirst. There is something I send every day, something small, silent, and constant, which is the definitive sign that you will not falter before reaching the land I promised you. Do you know what I'm talking about? You look at your feet now, and all you see is the dust of the road that seems endless. You feel the heat of the asphalt, the weight of the shopping bags that seem heavier today, or perhaps the weariness of climbing the same old stairs at the end of another exhausting day. You ask me, Lord, where is the promised land? Where is the milk and honey you spoke of, if my mouth still tastes the dry dust? My daughter, your mistake is believing that the miracle is only the final destination. The miracle is what keeps you standing while you haven't yet arrived there. Do you remember my people in the desert? They complained just like you. They looked at the horizon and saw only sand. They felt hunger and fear. But every morning, even before the sun beat down on the earth, I sent something small, white and thin like frost on the ground. They called it manna. They didn't know what it was, but that food was what kept them from dying along the way. It wasn't a feast for a whole year. It was just enough for that day. If they tried to save it for tomorrow, it would spoil. Why did I do it this way? Because I wanted them to learn to look at my hands every day, not just once in their lives. For it is written in Exodus chapter 16, verse 4, "Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain amount every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not." You are experiencing your manna right now. The manna is that money that appeared at the last minute to pay for the gas that ran out. The manna is the neighbor who knocked on your door with a smile and a piece of cake when you were ready to collapse. Manna is the breath I put into your lungs this morning when your heart seemed too small to beat. You are waiting for the great banquet of victory, but you are ignoring the bread from heaven that I place on your table every morning. The miracle didn't begin when the sea parted. The miracle began when the first grain of manna touched the desert soil. If you learn to savor today's manna, your journey will become lighter. You will realize that I have never let you lack what is necessary. What is necessary for today is my grace, Tomorrow, I will take care of tomorrow. Don't worry about the distance remaining to the promised land. Focus on the fact that you are still walking, and that your feet have not swelled and your clothes have not worn out under my care. I see you there, sitting on the sofa, feeling that nothing changes, but the manna is falling in your yard as we speak. If you can see this daily care, leave your sign of gratitude by sharing this message with someone who is also tired of the journey. And tell me one thing, what was the small sign of care that I sent you today that you almost missed? Write it here to seal your spiritual perception with our word of gratitude, daily provision. But don't think that the desert is just a place of survival. There's something happening behind the scenes of your pain, something involving people and situations you can't even imagine that I'm stirring up right now. Do you want to know what I'm preparing while you rest? You believe that your muffled sobs into your pillow so that no one in the house asks what happened are the final sound of a story that no one cares to read. You look at the blue reflection of your phone screen, which illuminates your tired face in the dim light of the room, waiting for a notification, a word of support, or a name that seems to have forgotten you. You feel invisible, as if the world were spinning at a speed you can no longer keep up with, leaving you behind in a corner of loneliness and pain. But what your natural eyes cannot see is that, while you are paralyzed by uncertainty, I am in full motion behind the scenes of your existence. At this very moment I am whispering in the ears of people you can't even imagine. I am keeping awake those who hold the key to the door you need to cross. I'm moving papers on desks in distant offices, awakening memories in the hearts of estranged relatives, and preparing encounters that you will call coincidence, but that I call providence. You only see the wall in front of you. I see the entire road and every crossroads I have prepared for your rescue. Your pain is not a dead end. It is the stage where I am setting the greatest of all surprises. You think you have been forgotten, but your name is written on the palm of my hand and echoes in the corridors of eternity every second, for it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, like a stream of water. He turns it wherever he wills. Just as I govern the course of the waters, I bend hearts in your favor. No one can keep closed what I have decided to open, and no one can curse whom I have already chosen to bless. You do not need to shout to be heard or make noise to be noticed. My justice works silently, but with an effectiveness that no earthly army can stop. While you rest your weary head, I am untying knots you didn't even know existed, and removing obstacles that would be too great for your strength. The sacred movement is invisible to the eyes, but it is felt by the soul that decides to no longer fight alone. Feel now the calm that descends upon your shoulders, like a cloak protecting you from the cold of uncertainty. You are not abandoned in this room. You are surrounded by an army working for your peace. If you feel that your heart can finally relax because I have taken control of your problems, click the like button as a sign that you surrender your worries into my hands. And answer me honestly. Can you trust that even without seeing anyone nearby, the whole of heaven is working for you now? Write in the comments our affirmation of security for this moment. God moves, but there is something even deeper happening within you. The miracle is not just what I change on the outside. The true secret lies in the transformation I am making within you right now. Are you ready to discover who you are becoming in the midst of this construction? You look at your hands now and perhaps realize they are not as steady as they were 20 years ago. There's a small bruise here, a more prominent vein there, and the tremor that arises when anxiety tightens your chest as you grip the steering wheel of your car or the strap of your purse on a crowded bus. You ask me for an external miracle, a drastic change in the scenery of your living room, a restoration of your bank account, or the immediate physical healing of someone you love. But look inside yourself for a moment. Close your eyes as you feel the air entering and leaving your lungs, that breath of life that I renew every second without you needing to ask. Perceive the monumental structure I erected within you while you were distracted by the pain outside. The miracle is not just what I place in your hands, but the new woman I am forging in the fire of your waiting. You wanted the promised land now, but I gave you the resilience to walk under the scorching sun without faltering. You wanted the immediate end of the storm, but I gave you the spiritual authority to sleep in the boat while the waves crash furiously against the wood. The divine construction doesn't make the noise of a hammer, jackhammer, or saw that bothers the neighbors. It happens in the meekness of your renunciation, at the exact moment you choose not to retaliate against that bitter word, when you choose to pray for the one who hurt you, and when you get up from that chair in the kitchen, wipe away your tears with the corner of the dishcloth, and say to the mirror, "Even so I will trust." For it is written in Philippians chapter 1 verse 6, "Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ." You are my masterpiece in progress. Each day of silence was a brick of patience that I laid in your soul. Each night of tears was the cement of humility that strengthened your structure. You are no longer that dry leaf that any wind of gossip or financial crisis carried away. Today, you are a spiritual building that bears the weight of glory because the foundation was laid in secret, where no one but me could see. The miracle began within you because nothing I give you externally will have value if you are not great enough inside to manage the blessing. I am making you unshakable, transforming your fear into discernment and your anguish into a powerful intercession that moves the heavens. Feel this new strength coursing through your spine now. You are not just waiting, you are growing. If you can feel that your mind is clearer and your spirit stronger than when this message began, click the like button to confirm that you accept this transformation I am making in your heart. And answer me with all sincerity. What part of you do you feel I have changed the most in these last days of trial? Write here in the comments our word of recognition for this sacred creation, masterpiece. But prepare your breath, because what I'm about to tell you will break the last chain of your anxiety. You have focused so much on the final destination that you have forgotten that the very path your feet are treading today is the miracle itself. There is a mystery about the waters that are still in motion that you need to understand in order to finally rest. You look at the calendar on your kitchen wall or at your cell phone screen where the days pass in a succession of numbers that seem to lead you nowhere. You feel that your life is on hold, as if your true purpose were kept in a box that will only be opened when the miracle finally materializes. But what I want you to understand now, with all the depth of your soul, is that the miracle is not the end of the line. The miracle is the very path your feet are treading today. The miracle is your capacity to love even when your heart is broken. The miracle is your courage to smile at those around you, hiding the storm raging within you so as not to frighten them. You have focused so much on the arrival that you have disregarded the sacred beauty of the journey. Remember Peter when I called him out of the boat. The miracle was not only that he reached me on the water. The miracle was every step he took while the waves were still moving. If the waters had calmed before he got out of the boat, there would have been no need for faith. The miracle happened amidst the instability, at the exact moment when fear tried to pull his feet down. Similarly, I am sustaining you now while your finances still waver, while your health still fluctuates, and while your nights are still marked by the weight of silence and the lack of news. For it is written in Psalm 121 verse 8, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. I watch over your exit from despair and your entrance into victory, but I also zealously guard every inch of the journey between those 2 points." You think the miracle only begins when you receive the blessing, but I tell you that the miracle began the day you decided not to give up. The miracle is the peace that suddenly invades you while you wash the dishes and the afternoon sun shines through the window. The miracle is the discernment that guides you in a difficult conversation and the hope that sprouts like a flower in the asphalt of your tiring routine. You are not just waiting for the miracle, you are living the miracle of being sustained by an invisible hand that never lets you fall. Your miracle is your silent transformation. It is the way you look at life now, with more tenderness and less haste. It is the authority you have acquired to speak of me, because you have known me in the valley and not just on the mountaintop. Value your today, for every breath you take is proof that my grace is sufficient to keep you standing. The waters may continue to move, but you are walking upon them because I am your firm ground. If you can perceive that your daily walk is already the most beautiful testimony that heaven is writing, leave your light by clicking the like button so that this word reaches more hearts. And tell me one thing, deep in your intimacy with me, what have you learned about my love during this journey that you didn't know when everything was calm? Write it here in the comments to seal your journey with our mark of faith. Amen on the way. Stay with me, for we are reaching the apex of this sacred encounter. I have saved for the end the clear answer you have sought so much, the key that will open the portal to your new season. There is a phrase, a whisper from the throne, that I promised to give you at the beginning, and it will be the definitive seal of everything we have experienced here today. You who have stayed with me until this moment, feel the beating of your heart. It does not beat alone. It beats in response to my touch, in a rhythm I myself designed before the world existed. Do you feel this gentle warmth that now envelops your face and soothes your hands? It's not just the weather outside. It's my glory embracing you like a blanket on a harsh winter night. I brought you on this long journey of revelations because I needed you to understand, once and for all, that your miracle is not an isolated event that will fall from the sky tomorrow. It is the masterpiece I am finishing sculpting on your chest right now. Every word you heard, every scene you visualized from your own life, was a step we took together toward the light. I promised you from the beginning, when your heart was still heavy with doubt, that I would give you a clear answer, a spiritual key that would sustain your soul so that you would never again feel helpless or weakened in the face of storms. This phrase is not just a set of words. It is the kingdom's code that will give you authority over every fear that tries to rise against you in this new season that unfolds before your eyes. The phrase I whisper in your ear now, for you to keep as your greatest treasure, is this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I want you, in an act of profound surrender, faith, and response to heaven, to write this phrase right now in the comments of this video. As you type each letter, you feel as if you are carving your victory into the soil of eternity. Let the world know that your strength does not come from you, but from me, your Lord. He writes with conviction, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. You know, my daughter, our dialogue today is only opening the doors to what I still wish to show you. There is much more that heaven wants to reveal to your eyes, and many other secrets that I have kept for our next messages. Do not stray from this voice that guides you. Browse through our list of prayers and messages here on the channel, immerse yourself in the Divine Love playlist, and allow me to continue being your constant companion. I still have much to say, and you still have much to receive. He looks to the horizon with hope. What I began in you, I will finish with glory. Your miracle is already real, for I am with you.